Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Welcome, one and all. We have, I think today we'll identify it as action-packed, an action-packed show. That's, all right, Diane, we have some housekeeping to do. On video 6, just let me know in a minute because I just realized I want both of them. There's two videos in video 6. So there's video A and video B in video 6. I do want both of those videos for the Georgia Hour. So let me know how that works out. I'm your host. Good Tuesday morning in America. Good Tuesday morning in America. Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Good morning. President Trump is traveling. We're going to talk about that. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. We have someone, and we work on that every day here. We're a small network. Remember, it's not the size of the network, but the truth of the network. So we do have someone assigned to check and make sure all the programming is running correctly. Diane has this show going out to about 9 different sources. And then she has me sending over 95 pictures, 15 videos. So a lot of moving parts in the morning. And we want to say always and open up to this audience. We appreciate you. I have Democrats that they laugh. They do. They send me messages and they laugh and they say, "Oh, I forget. Your audience is the research department." Ha, ha, ha. Look, you, the audience out there, you are the greatest research department of any deep state, corporate, corrupt media, any other program out there. We have right here, we're going to brag about having the greatest, best research department in America because it's you out there. Yes. I just wish we could get to everything and work on all the stories that you guys have sent in. So we always thank our research department and this audience. You're the tech department. A little bit of everything. You help out. So hi. All right, Diane. We're going to get right into the president. We're going to get right into the big, beautiful bill. We're going to get right into the plane, everything. But first, did you get number 95, the Georgia Hour? I'm disappointed. Okay? I am. I'm disappointed. There's Jaquan, a nice young man. And he's hanging out with none other than Renner Brother. That's Renner Brother, right? Shelley Winters. So the deep state Georgia corrupt swamp, the Georgia GOP Inc., has called in Renner Brother to try to discredit this past weekend's GRA convention. And they brought in none other than, hey, look, somebody said to me, Jaquan is a nice young man, but you know what someone said to me? They said, now take it easy. He's only 18 years old. Here's what someone said, okay? Take it easy. He's only 18 years old. And, you know, politics, there's a lot of people in politics that just take it easy on the guy. Okay. You know what? Give me 94. I'm going to tell you directly. I have gone to this young man. He's a great young man. He is only 18 years old. But I have told him there's Debbie Douchets. Sorry, Mom. Doolittle or Doulis or Debbie Dooley. Jaquan Stembridge, the real knocked it out of the ballpark. Why is she supporting Jaquan? On the show last night, Jaquan is running for GOP assistant secretary. Now, Jaquan had 9 lives. The cat used up his 9 lives. Let me tell you, just like I told my son, you ready? I said, son, you stepped out in a grown man's world, and this is how a grown man's world works. So politics is a grown man's world. It's full contact. He stepped out, grown man's world, and he's hanging out with Rena Brother. All right, take that down. So that'll be at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go into this. So look for me to be on one of Debbie Dooley's emails and BKP, racist. Just me. It's just me, man. It's just me. So that's at 10 o'clock. Now, all right. So I am always amazed with Saudi Arabia. I really am. I'm amazed with Saudi Arabia. Now, I go back and I study the 50s, actually the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, where Exxon and Chevron, they all went over there and they drilled the oil like in the 30s, whatever. You go back, just start through history. They drilled the oil. And part of the deal, I'll get attacked for this, but part of the deal was, okay, you guys can set up, drill the oil, but you have to start educating our sons in your finest universities in America. That's part of the deal. So throughout the years, we educated UAE, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. We educated their children. They came over to America. They got an American education. They went home, and then one day they flipped the switch and said, "We own the oil." So it is a cycle. Now they are the 3. These are the 3 wealthiest. Is that my understanding? The 3 wealthiest countries in the world right now. These little landmass. The landmass is irrelevant. They're the 3 wealthiest countries in the world. Give me number 73, President Trump. Trump's Middle East trip, where he's going: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. 3 wealthiest countries in the world right there in that region. And we're going to talk about that because Trump is number 66 and Trump is over there, 66. You should see the President of the United States. I'm amazed with how clean it is, spotless. I understand it's set up for TV. I don't know. I do not know if Saudi Arabia has like the bad part of town. I don't know that. I don't know if they have Trey Diagua gang members on the other side of town. I don't know if they have a problem with MS-13 on the other side of town. I don't know if they have their fentanyl addiction section over on the other side of town. I do not know exactly, on the other side of town. I don't know. But what I do see on TV is quite amazing. The palaces and the beauty and spotless. It's amazing. But there could be a bad side of town over there in Saudi Arabia where, just saying. All right. So The art of the deal. Trump is over there, the art of the deal, and there's none other than, right? Give me 67. The Muskie is there. Yes, he is there. The Muskie is there. The receiving line is amazing. Trump and the Prince, right? Prince, what's his name again? I don't know. But the Prince of Saudi Arabia there and Trump, they have this long receiving line of businessmen and women that are lined up to make an appeal to Saudi Arabia for investment. Give me 85, and we'll get into some more of this as the show goes on. Right here, it's just amazing. I watched it. It started. Trump landed about 4 a.m. our time, and I watched it live. The president arrive. Let's see. I thought I had one of him arriving. Maybe I don't. But anyhow, I watched it live. It's just absolutely beautiful the way they have treated our president, number 74 in Saudi Arabia. Now, keep in mind, this is the first trip Trump took in his last presidency. So, is Trump doing a little business on the side? I don't know, just saying. Little business on the side, just saying, right? This is the first trip he took last time he was in office. So take that down. Now, all right, so here is my answer to two things as we get our show started. I asked a question yesterday. Give me video 2, MSNBC, video 2. Sorry.
Yesterday that only a stupid person wouldn't accept this kind of gift.
If we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much. I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person, say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane. But I thought it was a great gesture.
So Trump doing a lot to defend.
So our Air Force One fleet, there's a fleet, okay? When you order, there's a fleet that gets built. There's an order for an entire fleet that goes and connects to Air Force One. And I think, am I correct, that the order is over at Boeing. So the order for the Air Force One, the new fleet, is behind schedule, way behind schedule. Now, when you build an Air Force One, it's much different than building an order for an airline. Now, I'm not taking up for it being behind schedule, but the military specs and what this plane has to have, communication, all the above, it's enormous. So if an airline orders a plane, a barrel, seats, engines, not making it simplistic, it's a very technical piece of equipment, but much different, right? Air Force One and the fleet have to be built with military inspections people there all the time, specs, so on and so forth. But anyhow, it's so far behind schedule. And Qatar has come up and said, well, number 90, we'll give you this plane. It's a loaner. It's rent a plane. No, it's they'll give it to us. But Trump is like, okay, Trump defends possible Qatar plane. And this is a palace in the air. So give me video 8.
Mr. President, what do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
It's only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much. You know, there was an old golfer named Sam Snead. Did you ever hear him? He won 82 tournaments. He was a great golfer. And he had a motto: when they give you a putt, you say, thank you very much. You pick up your ball and you walk to the next hole. A lot of people are stupid. They say, no, I insist on putting it. And then they putt it and they miss it. And their partner gets angry at them. You know what? Remember that, Sam Snead. When they give you a putt, you pick it up and you walk to the next hole and you say, thank you very much.
Respectfully, sir, as a businessman, some people may look at this and say, have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and then not received anything?
It's not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better, because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster.
Okay, so I agree with ABC's a disaster. I agree with that. The putt. Okay, the putt. All right. Now, I love my president. I support my president, Donald J. Trump. But I always made a commitment here to this audience not to go down a road that, regardless of who's driving the golf cart, as Trump would say, on the putt. If, just bottom line. So give me number 75 and then number 90. Okay. Qatar to gift Trump luxury jet, and go to number 90. All right. So my answer, I asked you yesterday, my opinion. All right. Hey, have your opinion. That's what, you know what the show's about. My answer is no, absolutely not. I mean, I listened yesterday. I started reading. I looked at things. I looked at Air Force One, what it's like to build Air Force One, the how intricate the Defense Department has to be in safeguards of Air Force One. Maybe this will light a fire under the company building our fleet of Air Force One that's so far behind. But the answer is no. No, this plane, I'm understanding if our president of the United States was to board this plane and consider it Air Force One, it would basically have to be totally dismantled and checked and then reassembled with the specifications and requirements to meet the title Air Force One. So I'm a no. I didn't jump on the no bandwagon or the yes bandwagon yesterday. I said, all right, let me look at this. Trump's saying he wants this plane. And, so I'm a no. Got it? Where are you? Are you a yes or a no? I am a no on the plane. All right. Now, let me just check. I may have a yes or no here. Let's see. Okay, I find that interesting. All right, I have to look at this in a minute. All right, so I'm a no. Moving along. Now, here is the other. Boy, I think I'm going to start this show getting in trouble. I am not in favor of the big, beautiful bill. I said it. I'm not in favor of the big, beautiful bill. Now, I've started reading some headlines. I started reading some articles. I don't have the time to read the bill. All right. But I started looking at different things surrounding the big, beautiful bill. And let me see, I have a couple. We have quite the Georgia story this morning concerning our Senate race. And let's see. Come on, get me the. Now, I am for the big, beautiful bill has like 390 pages, if not more. And let me tell you how this works. I thought I had a graphic here. Just stay with me a second. Wanted to see about the big, beautiful bill. I guess I don't have the graphic I thought. But anyhow, let me say this. I'm not in favor because this is how it works. And I said a long time ago, and I thought about this long and hard. Yes, I want, give me, just get 45 ready, take that down, get it ready, and I'll tell you when I want to put it up. Okay, so I want to keep the tax cuts. In fact, I don't care if we even bring taxes down, corporate taxes. I don't care if we bring them down. But I want to make tax cuts permanent. I want no tax on tips. These are things I agree with. I want no tax on Social Security, no tax on the interest payments or a deduction on interest payments for auto loans. I support what President Trump has put out on the campaign trail. I support that. But I know in the reality that if we don't cut back deficit spending, that we cannot sustain the debt any longer as the interest grows. We have to cut deficit spending. It has to be reduced. So I know we can't pass a bill with more deficit spending. It just can't happen. We need a deficit neutral bill, much like during Newt Gingrich. Was it Newt Gingrich? Just off the top of my head, Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton. So I know that, and then this is where I have to be true to who I am and what I'll accept. I will not accept just it's Donald Trump, it sounds great, and he named it a big, beautiful bill, and I'm MAGA, and I'm America first, and I'm a cheerleader. That's where I draw the line. Because you know what? You and I, as conservatives, if you're out there, you and I didn't like anything about the omnibus bill that John Boehner put together. Well, this is different. Wait a minute. And then we didn't like the omnibus bill that Paul Ryan put together. Well, this is different. And then when Kevin McCarthy did the same thing, and remember this, give me number 45. I have been promised from Republicans. Forget Trump for a minute. Even if it makes you mad, forget Donald J. Trump for a minute. I'm going to go like back to who I am. I'm a Ronald Reagan Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm a fiscal conservative. I know the facts are if we do not cut, we do not get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse, that we can't sustain the debt. Facts. All right. I'm a realist in the fact that Social Security, there's so much fraud, Medicare and Medicaid, so much fraud that we cannot sustain the debt and the monetary system of this country. Those are facts. Now, I, for one, was promised 12 appropriations bills, right? Now, I am not going to sit here this morning and throw that out the window and say, well, since it's Donald Trump, I'm okay with it now. No. I want Mike Johnson to bring out, well, you can't do that under reconciliation. Well, if you do that, a budget will never get done. If you do that, we'll never get this finished. You know, there's 12 appropriations bills, and what they do, here they are on the screen. Agriculture, commerce, defense, energy, finance, homeland security, interior, labor, health, legislative branch, military construction, state, foreign operations, transport. There's 12 appropriations subcommittees. And what they're doing in this bill right now, debt limit, this raising the debt limit, right? Appropriations, tax cuts. Now, you can only do one reconciliation bill, and I understand that. They're trying to do a bill where it doesn't take 60 senators. I get that. Okay? Because what happens is you vote on the bill in the House, it takes 50%, right? 50% plus one, whatever, it goes over, it passes to the Senate. Then the Senate has to have 60 votes to bring it out of conference for it to go on the floor. To close debate, it has to have 60 votes. On reconciliation, if the bill comes over and it's handled under reconciliation, meaning it deals with spending and taxes one time, it can have an up or down vote of 50 to go to the floor. So debate can be closed with 51 votes. Then it goes to the floor. Then it just needs 51 votes. So I understand that side of it. I do understand that side of it. All right? I get it. We'll never get it through is what they're telling you. Because we will not end filibuster. Got it? We will not suspend the rules. There's so many things we won't do as Republicans, but Democrats don't give a damn. They'll do anything they can to pass an Obamacare, to pass anything, to pass $1 trillion. You take Democrats, they'll get $1 trillion shoved out the window just like that. But Republicans? No. Now, what happens? Let me just explain the 12 appropriations. So every one of your set lawmakers serve on one of these appropriations. Now, in Congress, the House of Representatives spends the money. That's right. The House is the budget. They spend the money. That's who appropriates the money, is your House of Representatives. That's the purse strings. So what happens is all the House members are separated and they're put on all these committees. And they go in there and they write their portion of these bills. They write their portion. And then what happens is Congressman so-and-so that's on the legislative branch comes out this afternoon, and Congressman so-and-so that's on the agriculture branch, they come out and the guy on the agriculture branch or the lady says, "Oh, you could trust we got a good appropriations package in our committee. You can trust that. Vote for it." Oh, okay. They don't read it. And then the guy on the legislative branch says to the agriculture member, "Well, we have a really great package on the legislative. Here is the cliff notes. Here's 5 bullet points of what it's gonna work. You vote for it." Well, I'll tell you what. You support ours, we'll support yours. It is a disaster from the start of how they appropriate money, how they go in these committees, and lobbyists are assigned to each one of these appropriations committees, and they're crawling all through it like bugs. Like bugs, these lobbyists crawl through these appropriations committees, and they read the language with them. You have lawmakers that have damn, the pharmaceutical industry has a lobbyist assigned to every single lawmaker. And you got a lawmaker's office climbing with 3 and 4 lobbyists of their own. This is serious. And they read their appropriation section. They read it. They make the changes. Just like in Georgia, when we get a law in Georgia, how it works is the lobbyists write the law and deliver it to the lawmakers. Now, I'm not being ugly. You got it? I'm not. But most lawmakers don't have the intellect, the smarts, and the ability to write a law. They don't. They don't know how to do that. Right? They get a pat on the back. As soon as a lawmaker is elected, this is how it works. As soon as a lawmaker gets elected, they go through orientation. And when they come out the other side, they are not the person you elected. It's like the damn car wash. They wash the people off them in the front. And as they go through the car wash, they soap them down, cleanse them. And when they come out, they're spick and span, nice and clean, ready for a lobbyist to care for them for the rest of their political career. They go in dirty with the people, dirty because they're supporting the people, according to them. They come out the other side of the car wash, ready to be coddled, cared for, and taken through their political life with lobbyists. That's how it works. Bottom line. So like in Georgia, when we get a bill, those guys and ladies, I'm sorry, they're not bad people. When they get there, they're not bad people. They don't intend to be bad people. They just see, oh, is that a mountain of cash over there? Why, that's a mountain of cash. Yes, that could be yours. It's like a game show. That could be yours. And how do I do that? Well, here you go. Oh, by the way, we wrote this law for you. So, lobbyists, so as soon as you go into Congress, you see these 2 or 3 people here, these young people. Wow, they're very, very smart. They graduated. They've got political science degrees. They graduated from these higher learning level institutions, far and above anything you would ever know anything about, and they're ready to help you. So we're going to assign these 3 young people. They're going to stand behind you. Every friggin' appropriations meeting you go to, these people are going to stand behind you, these young, smart intellectuals, and they're going to hand you little notes. And those notes will be coming from lobbyists. So, no, I do not support the way they're going about the one big, beautiful bill, but I get what they're saying. It's a real coin toss right now because the bottom line is the way our government is structured. If the House does not package everything at one time, send it over to the Senate, get 51 votes to close debate on it to get it on the floor. Now they're all pulling out and putting in their little inserts of what they need back home. Pork barrel spending. So I don't know. So I'm not for the plane. I'm not excited about the big, beautiful bill. And I did not wake up this morning trusting John Thune, Mike Johnson, or any lawmakers. Besides, I do like my Congressman Andrew Clyde. Outside of that, I don't know. I don't know. Did I get up on the wrong side of the bed? Is that bothering you? I don't know. All right, so let's take a break. And when we get back, the deal. Saturday in the office, the deal. Donald Trump, Saturday in the office, the deal. Brian Kemp. Take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Good morning, Diane. How are you? We're up and running. I'm in a rainforest, Diane. How about you? I'm in a rainforest. That's what I feel like. Just saying. You know.
I'm so sick of the rain.
I can't stand the rain. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm in a rainforest. Like, so yesterday afternoon, about 4, the sun was really bright. It was like, oh, here's our chance. And then all of a sudden, it just unloaded. And I was like, oh, gosh. So there you go. Now, at 10 o'clock, we have the Georgia Hour. We have the Georgia Hour, and you know what? It is shocking because my rule within my personal constitution, when you get a chance to do the right thing, you do the right thing. And that bugs me in the mornings. You don't know. That bugs me. It really does, because I come in here and, you know, and I got this little angel pops up over here and little devil drops up over here. And angel says, you got to do the right thing because that's what you tell people. Little devil says, no, you don't. No, you don't. I'm like, oh, gosh. You know what? I don't know. So my decision always comes down to, and I'll tell you why it was a struggle on some days. Because when it comes time to doing the right thing, I can come up with, but they did this to you, but they said this about you. It could be real easy to just bypass it. So here's where I'm going with that. At 10 o'clock, I will be defending, it's pretty unusual for me, the GRA. Not that I dislike the GRA or the members, but I will be defending the GRA at 10 o'clock. Yes, it's going to be a little different. Why is that a struggle? Because I sent my $35 to the GRA, and the GRA sent my $35 back and said, we don't want you as a member. Seriously. All right. So last year, about a year ago, I'm just going to say it's been a year ago, I filled out an application to be a member of the GRA. A lot of my friends wanted me to. How come you not? So I filled it out. I went, sent it in. They called me up. They gave me an interview. I aced the interview, as you would know. And then I got a little note saying, we decline your membership. Here's your $35. So it's kind of, in a way, easy for me to say right now, well, I should just gloss over this, but it would not be the right thing to do. So there you go. After all of that noise, at 10 o'clock on the Georgia Hour, I'm going to actually defend the GRA. Now, Trump is over in Saudi Arabia. I'm actually very excited about the trip. We're going to get into that in the next hour. But I want to go to Georgia for just a moment because we have a Senate race. So this applies nationally. You'll be interested in this. We have a U.S. Senate race in Georgia. John Ossoff is the senator, Democrat. We have 53 senators, Republicans in D.C., but we're always dealing with Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski. And now you have Thune out of North Carolina. You never know when that's going to happen. And then we're dealing with, what's his name down there in Kentucky, Mitch McConnell. So Georgia, we would like to send a senator in 2026 to increase the Republican numbers in Washington, D.C., and also someone that will support President Trump, especially in the last 2 years of his term. You'll have 26. You'll have 2 years after the election. So I want to give you something here. We had the Senate sweeps, okay, and U.S. Senate sweeps, and everybody in Georgia. This is how bad everybody in Georgia waiting to see what Brian Kemp would do. And this is not a hate, dislike, I don't support Brian Kemp segment, but it's like hell, we should be waiting to see what Brian Kemp would do. I mean, he's the governor, but when did we get in Georgia to a king status with our GOP chair, Josh, our House of Representatives, Speaker of the House? We have royalty in Georgia. We have the royal leader, the supreme leader in the governor's office. One of the most powerful offices in the United States of America, the governor's office of Georgia. That is the supreme leader of our state. I don't want to stretch and go communist. I don't want to say that. I think that's, but we'll just go, that's the supreme. Then we have the supreme leaders, understudies. We have created this Speaker of the House, enormous position over here, which is currently held by John Burns. And then we have a lieutenant governor in under the supreme leader, that is currently held by Burt Jones. And then we have the Georgia GOP Inc. Leadership, which is currently Josh McCoon. And the supreme leader, all must wait for the supreme leader to speak on all matters. Now, I'm serious. So here we are in Georgia, and we're waiting for Brian Kemp to decide if he's going to run for U.S. Senate. Now, there's a lot of discussion. No, he's not running. And that was out there for quite some time. Nope, he's not running. So, okay, not running. So Brian Kemp makes the announcement he's not running. The door opens. It was all a setup. Everything was a setup in Georgia. In Georgia, we are not allowed, we the people are not allowed to pick. Well, don't you vote? Don't you go and cast your ballot? Yeah, on machines controlled by the Secretary of State, controlled by the Supreme Leader. And we don't want them. The majority of Georgia voters have said, we do not want to vote on these machines. The President of the United States said, don't vote on the machines. Now, this is not political, but what the Supreme Leader said, this is what you shall do. So we have to wait. We have to wait for the Supreme Leader of the state, Brian Kemp, to decide. We have to vote on the machines that they set up for us that are controlled by the Supreme Leader and the Secretary of State. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. So they lay out a plan. Now, I have always said, if you're new to this show, ask the veterans to the show, what was the deal? What was the deal in Valdosta, right? So, no, I don't want that yet because it kind of gives away where I'm at. I told you, what was the deal in Valdosta? Brian Kemp and Donald Trump meet in Valdosta, Hurricane Helena, and they meet there to survey the damage and they shake hands. Something was set up. They shake hands. And they calmed everything. There was a calming of the storm between the two of them. They made a deal not to fight anymore, attack each other, and just get through the election. But I've always said, what was the deal on that handshake? What was the deal? Now, part of the deal on the handshake was called David Perdue, Kelly Loeffler, right? And Doug Collins. It's my opinion. You can't get here without giving you the whole thing. So part of the deal was, okay, I don't want to see David Perdue run for office again. Now, I don't know that he would ever run for office again, but former Senator David Perdue, Donald Trump was able to talk him into running against, remember, Brian Kemp, running against Brian Kemp for governor. And I know what you're saying. Well, I don't think David Perdue would step up and try to run for governor again, do you? No. But what if, because he's former senator. Now, governor's a big deal, but he's former U.S. Senator from Georgia. He won once. I particularly think he won the second time. I think he won the second time. I do, in Georgia. A senator is a very elite. There's only 100. Very elite position in Washington, D.C. Would he step up and say, maybe I want to be senator again? Possible. But we got him going to China. China, right? Going to China. Now, that leaves Doug Collins. Doug Collins, he wanted to be senator. He was the congressional, he was my congressman for years in the 9th Congressional District. He stepped up. President Trump asked Brian Kemp twice to name him senator when Johnny Isakson retired. And Brian Kemp said, no, I run Georgia. I am the premier. I am the leader, premier leader. I not do it, as you say. sir. Anyhow, maybe Doug Collins would want to be senator. He ran for it once. Doors open. Here's your chance. The last time Doug Collins attempted to run for senator, it was a jungle primary, long story short. Come up short, by the way. Long story. Doug came up short, right? What if he wanted to run for senator? Well, no, in the deal. He's the secretary, the VA secretary, Veterans Administration Secretary Doug Collins, which I'm very happy there, but let's move him over there. We got one more that what if she wants to be senator? You see, this whole senator thing, David Perdue, one-time senator, Doug Collins wanted to be senator. Now you have Kelly Loeffler. Kelly Loeffler was a senator. Like, dislike, approve, disapprove, but she was. And she was appointed by Brian Kemp. And she liked it. So she ran again and got beat. But what if she wanted to be senator once again? Secretary of the Small Business Administration. So part of the deal down in Valdosta was to clean the deck. Get them out of the way. Check, one part of the deal. Now, you have this pesky congresswoman from the 14th district, Marjorie. So how do we handle that? Well, we have polling come out. Right before. So the timeline. Kemp says, I'm not running. Never intended to. But I plan to control the outcome. You can't make this up, right? So Kemp says, I'm not running. Look at the timeline on the calendar. The date I'm not running. All right. The polling comes out that says Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? Cannot win the general election. So on Friday of last week, because they just had to get Marjorie Taylor Greene out of the way. Because if Marjorie Taylor Greene, now Buddy Carter's running, and Buddy Carter made his announcement. Buddy Carter knew all of this and felt, I better jump. Okay? As soon as Kemp said, I'm not running, Buddy Carter knows everything I'm about to tell you in the 1st district. So he says, look, I'll come out, boom. I know what's going to happen, and I better come out front and say, I'm the MAGA America First. I am the Donald Trump candidate in the race. So Buddy Carter does that. Now, so on Friday, Kemp's not worried about Buddy Carter. He's really not, because the base is not going to fall for Buddy Carter being MAGA. That won't happen in Georgia. So on Friday, Marjorie Taylor Greene is told by Donald Trump, because if she ran, she would win the primary. She would. And on Friday, basically, Donald Trump says, Marjorie, you'll win the primary, and I would have no choice but to endorse you. I would have to endorse you. But Governor Kemp has convinced me, along with others, you can't win a general election. So on Friday, Marjorie gets out. She writes this big, long, right? Give me number. I thought I had it here just a moment ago. Maybe I don't. Let's see. I thought I cropped one. Yeah, give me number 49. All right. So on Friday in Georgia, Senate, Marjorie Taylor Greene is out and John King is in. So Friday, Marjorie puts out this big long thing. I could win if I got in, but I'm not going to run because they get nothing done in the Senate. It's useless. So Friday, she's out. Now, you remember the other day what I told you was happening? Well, it happened. I told you it was happening right here on this program. I told you. Number 8. Kemp goes to D.C. Saturday. Friday, Marjorie out. Kemp no run. Friday, Marjorie out. Saturday, Kemp goes to D.C. Kemp and Trump huddle over Senate race as GOP field grows. This is Saturday. Governor Brian Kemp and President Trump met quietly Saturday in Washington to discuss unifying behind a Republican Senate candidate in Georgia, according to 4 people with knowledge of the discussions who were not authorized to speak. It was not immediately clear if the two reached an agreement over backing the same contender in the wide open race against Democratic John. So it's not been made clear if Trump's going to back Brian Kemp's guy, but Brian Kemp goes Saturday to lay the groundwork for an endorsement. Now, and who he's going to be behind. So what he does is he goes up there Saturday, he says, President Trump, you may get behind someone else, but we know how that'll end because I'm going to push someone else. And I don't think you want to push up this hill while I'm pushing up this hill, do you? Now, Kemp's got, well, he's got the guts of Marty Kemp. Yes, he doesn't have guts and courage, but he has the guts and courage of Marty because he dare not come back out of that Oval Office and tell Marty that he didn't do what she told him to do. So, number 9, Kemp told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution last week he anticipated a conversation with Trump in hopes of combining forces. We don't want to go up the hill in a different direction, do we, Donald? Behind a candidate, though he cautioned that coming to a consensus is hard to do in primaries. So now enters in Friday MTG, Saturday meeting with Kemp, and Monday, lo and behold, number 10. Right? Monday, number 10, none other than John King gets in the race. Insurance chief John King jumps into Georgia's U.S. race. Now, Jim Beck went to jail. He was the insurance commissioner, right? He went to jail. Brian Kemp appointed this man, a longtime friend, born in Mexico, John King, a major general. He appointed him to insurance commissioner, and he won re-election. He won an election. He didn't win. He's insurance commissioner. Right? Now, if you meet him face to face, you come away with he's a nice guy. If you meet him face to face, you think, I like this guy. I have sit down at a table and spoke to the guy for about 15 minutes. He's enjoyable. But he's created. He is a political creation of Brian Kemp. Simple as that. Political creation of Governor Brian Kemp, this guy here. He was put into office. That's the way it works in Georgia. Very seldom do you just out and out go talk to the people, put your plan out there, campaign, and win. Not really how it works in Georgia. And Josh McCoon is the Georgia GOP Inc. chairman, and he supports that. So that's being said, this guy gets in on a Monday. All right, John King jumps into the race on Monday. Lo and behold, right? So, make sure I'm not missing any more of my John King story here. Now, he gets in on a Monday. Sounds like a setup. So let's go number 11. All the hype around John King. And he's out there. Here's number 11. Atlanta News Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner John King, U.S. Senate bid insurance, Georgia Insurance Commissioner, Fox 5. John King joined Senate race. So the hype is out there. Now, this guy is number 12. It was all staged. Everything was staged. John King, sorry about that, number 12. Now, this is where Governor Kemp on May 5th, all right, you cannot make any of this up. So May 5th, last Monday, Kemp said, I'm not running, all right, Monday. Can't make that up. Friday, MTG, the polling, right? Monday, Kemp says, I'm not running. The polling comes out middle of the week. Marjorie can't win. Kemp speaks with, he has a conversation with Donald Trump. There's a discussion. Hey, MTG can't pull this off in the general election. We got the numbers to show it. I'm serious. This is how it all laid out. Friday, MTG is told by Donald Trump. Donald Trump tells MTG, if you get in the race, you're going to put me in a position because I am going to endorse you. I got to endorse you. And I'm told that we will flat lose Georgia to a Democrat, John Ossoff, if you're the head-to-head. So there's a heartfelt discussion. Marjorie makes the hard decision, claims she could win, but she gets out on the 9th. On the 10th, Brian Kemp goes to D.C., and on the 12th, John King announces. Can't make any of this up. Now, John King on the 5th, John King was ready to go. Brian Kemp announced he would not be running for Senate. Governor Kemp is the best governor in America, and Georgia is better off because of his service. Personally, I'm proud to call him a close friend and will always be grateful for his leadership. John King, boom, right out there, because he is. They're good friends, very good friends. And John King is controlled. Nice guy, but he's controlled, all right, by Brian Kemp. Totally controlled by Brian Kemp. All right, now, give me a couple more and we got to go to break. Here he is, number 14. Number 14, we'll get this governor's race done. John Ossoff voted against securing our border, against supporting Israel, and letting men play in women's sports. He's California's 3rd senator. Where have I heard that before? Right? No, not Georgia's senior senator. Josh McCoon always says he's California's 3rd senator, which I get it. Give me video 7.
I am John King, retired United States Army Major General, Police Chief, and the first Hispanic statewide elected in Georgia. I am running for the United States Senate in 2026. I came to this country as a 17-year-old from Mexico, and I've had the privilege to lead your sons and daughters in some incredible places around the world. Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, Africa. During President Trump's first term, I served on the U.S.-Mexico border. As an Atlanta police officer, I was shot and stabbed on the line of duty, protecting our community. I've never shied away from a fight. But what truly scares me today is having John Ossoff for 6 more years. President Trump got sent to Washington, D.C. to solve some very big problems. He needs help. And I'm asking for your support to go help President Trump and solve these incredibly big problems. Thank you.
Now, remember, there is a lot of truth in his video. There is a lot of truth. When he says he's the first statewide elected Hispanic elected statewide, but not until he was appointed. He was first appointed to the position, then he was elected after he was appointed when his new term came up. This is true. It's true. He was shot at as an Atlanta police officer. I sit down at a table. This guy told me stories. I mean, I only had about 15 minutes with him face to face, but they're very good. He's strong. Now, in the last year, especially in the last year, he has done about everything he could do to say, I am a Trump supporter. You see, he's the surrogate that Brian Kemp kept sending to the Trump rallies and around the Trump Force 47 or anything in campaigning for Trump. He's the surrogate. So that way, Brian Kemp could say and sell him to Donald Trump. So I'm going to look in the eye and tell you, I think he gets the Trump endorsement. I think he does. I think it was set up Saturday. I think Marjorie was pushed out. No, I don't think anyone else that would think about getting in the race. There's more people. There's Brad Raffensperger that may get into the race. I think it's more governor for him. We hear Mike Collins. Now that is what the patience has been and why you have not seen Mike Collins get into the Senate race. This is exactly why, because of the calendar. Monday, Kemp is out. Mike Collins said something, congressman from the 10th District of Georgia. He said something very nice about the governor, but he had to wait. MTG out, Kemp, DC, John King Monday. Now, Mike Collins did beat, and I want to put this out here, Mike Collins in the 10th District, when he won his race for Congress in the 10th, Mike Collins did beat Vernon Jones, who was Trump endorsed in the 10th, and he did not have Trump's endorsement. But the tables have turned, and right now, Mike Collins would have to run against, if he doesn't get it, the Trump endorsement, if he gets it, and Kemp. And that's a big hill to climb, especially when we have our supreme leader and the way our structure is set up in Georgia. Just a big hill to climb. So we're waiting on Mike Collins, waiting on some others. If I was a betting man, I'm going to bet the guy gets Trump's endorsement. I don't know. I'm going to bet he gets Brian Kemp's endorsement. I don't know. We'll see. But we have to beat John Ossoff in 2026. I just would hate to do it with the controlled candidates. I'm so tired of controlled candidates in my life. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $9,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait for Memorial Day. Get them before they're gone. $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. $9,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
New York Post. Small nodule. Small nodule found in Joe Biden's prostate during physical exam. I think the small nodule was above his shoulders. So, all right, we'll leave it there. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, hi, Diane. How are you? I know But I had to go into detail. About the Senate race. I wanted to go into detail on that. All right, 10 o'clock, we have the Georgia Hour, and trying to make sure I can finish up. At 10 o'clock, we have the Georgia Hour. They're going to be tweeting after this one. Well, we're going to have Rent a Brother, and that's going to upset Debbie. Debbie's going to get upset. Rent a Brother's going to bother her. Anyhow, 10 o'clock. Now, yesterday, President Trump, they don't cover it. He signed an executive order concerning prescription drugs. And he signed an executive order concerning prescription drugs. Number 18, there's a full list. We're not going to go through the list right now. There's a full list of prescription drugs and what it would do to change the prices there. I'm going to give you something to follow up on, briefly to follow up on. Full list of drugs that could be slashed. We're going to come back to this one under Trump's new executive order. So HHS, and Trump has named Callie, right? There's Callie and Casey Means, brother and sister, it's Casey Means to be the Surgeon General. Now, I want you to keep up with this. There is a battle online between Laura Loomer and is it Casey? Let me get it straight here. Casey. I've got the articles. Here it is. So number 47, this is on Politico. Wellness CEO files ethics complaint against top RFK advisor, right? I don't want to put my glasses on, so we'll try to do it on this screen here. An internal battle has emerged inside the Make America Healthy Again movement, with the CEO of supplements company and a top advisor to Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy leveling accusations against each other and including making threats of retribution, conflicts of interest, and leaking false information to far-right activist Laura Loomer. So this is Callie Means. His sister, Casey Means, just appointed to be Surgeon General from Donald J. Trump. Laura Loomer is definitely a no on her and is going full throat attack on both the brother and sister. Now, I learned of these people through Tucker Carlson, and I think most of you out there did also. Give me number 46. This is Callie Means. No, Laura, filing a fake complaint and leaking it to Politico is not devastating. All right. Laura Loomer, I heard there is a massive story about Kylie, and Casey Means MD that's about to drop. I hear it's devastating. And Kylie Means, no, it's not devastating. Filing a fake complaint. I received info that the wellness company engaged in an effort to compile and share probable, untrue information. I called the CEO to inform him and request he stop before legal action. They filed a ridiculous complaint and leaked it to Politico to feed the news cycle. You are throwing the absolute kitchen sink of stuff that is just lies. My nature is to push back. It was completely appropriate to call the wellness company CEO and request he stop spreading lies. So this is taking place. Follow this. See what the outcome is. All right. We're keeping up with that one right there. So we put that on the list of we're keeping up with. Now, back to the full list of drugs that could be slashed under Trump's new executive order. You can go read the executive orders if you go to the whitehouse.gov. There's a tab of every executive order Donald Trump. Don't let the media or any media report it to you. The executive order is there. We're not going to play the whole thing, Diane, but I do want to play RFK for about maybe 2 minutes of yesterday in the Oval Office, video 9.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an extraordinary day. This is an issue that, I grew up in the Democratic Party, and every major Democratic leader for 20 years has been making this promise to the American people. This was the fulcrum of Bernie Sanders' runs for presidency, that he was going to eliminate this discrepancy between Europe and the United States. But as it turns out, none of them were doing it. It's one of these promises that politicians make to their constituents, knowing that they'll never have to do it. And the reason they'll never have to do it is because they know that Congress is controlled in so many ways by the pharmaceutical industry. There's at least one pharmaceutical lobbyist for every congressman, every senator in Capitol Hill, and every member of the Supreme Court. By some estimates, 3. Pharmaceutical companies, the industry itself, spends 3 times what the next largest lobbyist spends on lobbying. So this was an issue that people talked about, but nobody wanted to do anything because it was radioactive. They knew you couldn't get it by Congress. We now have a president who is a man of his word, who has the courage. President Trump was taking money from the pharmaceutical industry too. I think they gave you $100 million. But he can't be bought, unlike most of the politicians in this country. And he is standing here for the American people. I don't know what, there's writers like Lord Elizabeth Warren or Robert Reich who are saying that President Trump is on this side of the oligarchs. There has never been a president more willing to stand up to the oligarchs than President Donald Trump. And I'm very, very proud of you, Mr. President, for your courage, I'll say, because I don't want to be crude, your intestinal fortitude, your stiff spine, and your willingness to stand up for the American people. We have 4.2% of the world's population. Our country represents 75% of the revenues for pharmaceutical companies. We spend in our country $1,126 per capita on drugs. In Britain, they spend about $240. They spend 1/5 of what we do. And this is true across Europe. And the drug companies, Europeans, if you ask them, it made no sense what they were saying. America has to pay for this innovation or it's not going to happen. What President Trump is saying to our European partners is you've got to raise the amount that you're paying for those drugs and pay for your share of the innovation. That the United States is no longer subsidizing that. If the Europeans raise the price of their drugs by just 20%.
Now, you can go to whitehouse.gov and you can go to the executive order and you can watch the entire speech that RFK Jr. gives. I am still in amazement that he's a Democrat, Trump's a Republican, and he is HHS secretary. There are many things that they're working on, and I think they're positive. The media I tell you like this, and I'll move out of it. You know, this is a positive move, and it's a good move when no one covers it. I mean, no one. I go to the websites. Very few covered it at all. Very few put it on their pages. CNN, MSNBC, Morning Joe, none of them covered this. Always remember, look into it yourself and make the decision yourself if you think it's good or bad, but start out knowing if the deep state corporate corrupt media hides it, it must be something good they don't want you to see. But Trump can't get out of the room. He can't get out of the room. Well, I can't set this up. Just go ahead. Give me video 10.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy. Very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
Give me number 4. The fat shot. His friend's taking the fat shot, and he told his friend it's not working. I'm sorry, man. He calls me up and he said, I'm taking this fat shot. It's not working, man. All right, so they're bringing the price of the fat shot down. Just saying. Take a break.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $9,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait for Memorial Day. Get them before they're gone. $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. $9,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, When you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
You know what I do between breaks? I sharpen my pencils. Just saying. Now, Donald Trump told me I could have 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 pencils out here. I was told I could have 5, but I got 6. How are you today? I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. We will have in just 22 minutes will be the Georgia Hour every morning at 10 a.m., the Georgia Hour. And yeah, so we have a full show today, the Georgia Hour. Can you believe that it's coming down to a fight for Assistant Secretary of the Georgia GOP? Wow. Inc. So, tariffs. All right. Now, I will tell you this. Donald Trump forced, I told you yesterday, the entire world to realign 65, to realign trade. Now, I got to give it to Donald Trump. He realigned trade in the entire world. I mean, not many people can say this is how it's going to work. And everybody in the world, everybody, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, Australia, China, Russia's in the mix here, Ukraine, the UK, the European Union, South America, Mexico, Canada. Trump realigned and has everyone. He's doing a reset of world trade single-handedly. None of our media has helped him in any way whatsoever. Now, I will give credit to the core group that has the guts and courage to stick with it. Scott Bessent, right? Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, Little Marco, several, but Donald Trump knows what he's doing, reset the world. Now, China, give me 82. All right. Now, China, they are hurting. They are. Bullying only leads to self-isolation. All right. Chinese president. Now, Xi Jinping and Trump have a phone call planned here in the near future. But China's economy is like Trump said, I don't want to hurt them. I mean, it's not my goal to hurt people around the world. They have factories shutting down. Their people are, he's on the edge of uprising. Factories are shutting down. They're upset. Their economy's in the tank in China. We have always known that China had to come to the table. Now, some will tell you that Trump blinked. Didn't happen. Did not happen. The new Prime Minister of Canada, first thing he does is come down to America, UK, Steimer, the list goes on. Donald Trump has the control. It will work this way, or we'll turn on the switch again and change it just like that. So give me 81. And 90-day tariff rollback, U.S. tariffs on China, 145 will go down to 30. China's tariffs on U.S., 125 will go down to 10. Now, also, for everyone all upset, Donald Trump's brilliance, he's opening the world market to our manufacturers. Our farmers, our producers, beef, pork, poultry, our products are now going to be accepted. He is putting our products on the shelf of the world. It's just going to happen. He's not going to stop. Give me number 80. So the tariff deal that they all complained about, the crisis, right? China and U.S. agree to drastically slash tariffs for 90 days. All right. We'll work this out. And now give me number 70. I don't know if I had that one up a minute ago or not. Even on Trump to focus on business deals and investment in the Middle East. Number 69, just like that. They don't want to report this out there. Just like that. Goldman Sachs recession odds last month were at 45%. They're down to 35% now. The odds of the recession are going the other way. So maybe they made it up. Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this young man, we'll call him a young man at CNN, he released this video. It's at CNN. Going to play just about a minute of it. Video 1 yesterday, video 1.
President Trump may have just pulled off the impossible. De-escalation between the U.S. and China, a relationship that had gone to the absolute brink, potentially taking the entire global economy with it just a few days ago.
It's unprecedented. There's never been anything like it. It's a very exciting time.
So what actually happened here? maybe there was a plan, or at least there ended up becoming a plan by Trump administration officials who decided to start with the most maximalist approach on tariffs. China reciprocated. Now they're talking. Things were pretty dark for a period of time. Now they have their negotiations. They have their talks. They actually still have very high tariffs in place, but they also have the potential for an outcome that Trump views as a necessity in rebalancing trade between the two economies, and one that Chinese officials now at least seem willing to talk about. This is an inflection point, not just for the U.S.-China relationship, really for the entire global economy. Dozens of trade talks now underway. The Trump administration...
All right. He goes on to explain that the Trump administration is resetting the trade for the entire world. No one, absolutely no one, not Nikki Haley, not Ron DeSantis, no, right? Nikki Haley, President of the United States, Ron DeSantis, President of the United States, they go into the Oval Office, the deep state comes in and says, look, things are working, according to them, things are working right now. We need to take a different approach. Only President Donald Trump would have the brilliance, the guts, and courage to reset world trade. Reset world trade. Now, I am going to say this. All right, let's go ahead with number 93. Trump is over there. Now, the receiving line. He's over there in Saudi Arabia, right? There he is. And I wondered, let's get this out of the way. I wondered how long before one of the broadcasters would mention the Crown Prince there. Give me video 3.
Perhaps to his benefit domestically. I'm curious, though, are the human rights abuses in Saudi Arabia, the Jamal Khashoggi incident, are those just sort of faded from memory? Or is this a new day, figuratively, and the issues of the past with Saudi Arabia are now forgotten? I'm curious how you see that.
Right. I mean, look, obviously these things that you're talking about are...
I wondered how long before Khashoggi would make it into the discussion, right? So these palaces are amazing. They're absolutely amazing. Beautiful. So Trump, give me number 6, the grand entrance, right? Number 6, the grand entrance. And then we have number 68, the receiving line. Now, there so Trump takes all these business people over there. He wants $1 trillion investment from the Middle East. He wants over $1 trillion investment from the Middle East. You have Elon Musk, the receiving line, 64, 67, Elon Musk, right? 63, there's Elon, 63, Sam Altman, right? Sam Altman there with President Trump in the receiving line. Give me video 12.
7 stocks. We're talking names like Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, those others gaining more than $837 billion in market cap yesterday. Some huge gains. Also, I want to go back to something else you guys were talking about. The president's visit to Saudi Arabia as part of a broader trip to get Middle East investment. We saw Elon Musk there with the president, along with the Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang, along with some other tech leaders like the Palantir CEO Alex Karp and some other very prominent Wall Street leaders, including the CEOs of BlackRock and Blackstone, Larry Fink and Steven Schwartzman. So a lot of business support for the president as he makes that trip. All right, I want to come back to the U.S.
So give me number 73. Trump's Middle East trip, where he's going. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, all right, the UAE, and Qatar, his first trip, all right. Now, these are the three richest, not landmassed in size, three wealthiest countries in the world. So Trump is a businessman. Trump is absolutely a businessman. I will never forget. I asked my dad one time about opening or pursuing work in a certain region. And I said, I think we should pursue work in a certain region. And the first thing he said to me is, how much money is there? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, how much money is there? And I said, well, I'm not for sure. He said, always remember, you can't go make money where there is no money. No money, you can't make it. Always go. I was taught, always go where the money, okay? Find out where the money is, and that's where you go to, where the money is located, period. Don't try to do business where there is no money and then get upset because you're not successful. There wasn't enough money to sustain your business. Now, I just say that in saying Trump is a businessman, and the first place he's going is the money. The money. Now, there are successful, right now, deals being made in Iran, and successful deals are being made in Iran in negotiations there. We're trying to prevent war. Give me number 77. As you can see right here, just show you briefly. President Trump gets royal welcome. Now, it's not unusual for the vice president not to travel on these trips. It's not unusual for safety reasons. The vice president and the president are separated. So it has no significance that J.D. Vance is not there. That's the way you never send the president and the vice president to the same place. So it's expected that they are not together here. And it is very common for your Secretary of State to be on these trips. But don't forget, as I've told you before, at the right hand is who? Little Marco. Now, on the trip, number 72, Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff, Howard Lugnut, Commerce Secretary, Scott Bessent, Pete Hegseth, and Little Marco is right there with President Trump on the trip. So before we get to the Georgia Hour in 3 minutes, I just want to say this right here. I have it in my stack. Don't want to miss it. All right. You got to come up with what is the real motive behind this. Number 58, the evil people that hate our country, shortage in air traffic controllers impacted U.S. airports. Number 59, Austin airport delays blamed on continued staffing issues. Now, these things did not just happen yesterday. And then number 60, 120 flight 120 flight delays in Atlanta on Monday after Sunday's ground stops. What is happening? All right. Now, there are glitches. Number 61, United CEO reassures customers that Newark Airport is safe. Number 62, New York Post, Newark air traffic crisis takes terrifying turn with just one controller to oversee up to 180 takeoffs and landing. Pure insanity. So there is something there that they're trying to take down our air traffic system, our air travel, something there that these people are trying to take that down. We're going to keep an eye on that. I'm looking here just to make sure there's not something I forgot. Yes, number 40. Don't forget, every time you read one of these articles, Biden signed a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill into law. Don't forget, he signed a $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Nothing is new at any of these airports. And number 41, yes, the bipartisan infrastructure law signed into law by President Biden includes significant funding for airport infrastructure upgrades, $25 billion in modernization. Try to say that 3-4 times, right? Number 41. I don't even know if I called it. There you go. I just wanted you to see that. Folks, when we return, we will deal with one of my favorite statements that we use quite often here from President Trump, 21. Remember what President Trump says: the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but rather by those who watch them without doing anything to stop them. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with the Georgia Hour.
Massive truck discounts are back at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Up to $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. Up to $9,000 off Silverado 2500s. Don't wait for Memorial Day. Get them before they're gone. $12,500 off Silverado 1500s. $9,000 off Silverado 2500s at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, welcome to the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour with BKP on voiceofruralamerica.com. Thank you, Diane. Now, give me number one. I will want two momentarily, number one. But we want to actually focus on a couple things today. And we want to like we have an action plan, and we have delivered a lot of information, which we're going to do that again today. But Josh McCoon is the current chair of the Georgia GOP Inc., and Josh McCoon is running for re-election. Now, Josh McCoon can say nothing more than he is the Super Bowl champion coach. He has no plan. Now, I have listened over and over and over. I've heard Josh McCoon tell me, why take the coach that just won the Super Bowl off the field? We need to mirror what we did in 2024 for Donald Trump. We need to stop Jon Ossoff and put a Republican back in the governor's office. But outside of that, I mean, there's absolutely no plan. He delivers no plan whatsoever. And we all know the fact that Donald Trump was on the ballot. Donald Trump won Georgia, and people voted for Donald Trump. Now, we always open up by saying we want to be clear that so many great rural county GOP chairs and over 80,000, that's the over 80,000 county population GOP chairs, so many of them worked so hard. And they worked in the Trump Force 47, which Trump Force 47 was an RNC brainchild. That was RNC money. So many worked very hard, regardless of what area you were in, phone banks, door knocking, sign waving, no matter what, across the state. Not the Georgia GOP Inc. And we know that. Now, that being said, Josh has no plan. And it's not really clear why he's running for re-election and what he's up to, because he's not delivered an answer to any question. And I'm going to show you, he's a coward. Josh McCoon is a coward. They are attempting to rig the election, stop the delegates. They have no respect for delegates, none whatsoever. Okay? Now, the delegates get together, the way the structure is, the delegates get together at a convention, the delegates cast a vote, and the delegates expect that the people they put in office get the opportunity to participate and represent them in the state office, which doesn't happen. So the delegates voted for me, and they did not respect the delegates, and they removed me from office. Okay. No problem. The delegates voted for Amy Kramer. All right? With an E. We always say that for Betsy Kramer with an A. But the delegates voted for Amy Kramer over Ginger Howard. Now, Josh McCoon has zero respect for the delegates. These are facts. These are not made up. Amy Kramer went to a convention. She ran a campaign, right? Liked the lady, disliked the lady. Guess what? The structure, the body, the delegates said Amy Kramer will be the Georgia GOP Inc. state committee woman for the RNC. Josh or the leadership in the GOP have shown Amy Kramer zero respect. Okay? There you go. But until the next election and the delegates speak, that's who we have. That is our GOP Inc. RNC state committee woman, Amy Kramer. Now, the delegates, once again, Josh McCoon, the coward of Georgia GOP, he hides behind every woman he can find, is disrespecting the delegates. And they are totally trying to control the outcome. See, they've had it with the delegates, you out there, and you could say this and tell the delegates this. The leadership has had it with you, thinking that you should pick state officers, right? RNC committee members. They don't feel you should do that any longer. In fact, to the point that they're controlling the delegate list. They're controlling who has the delegate list. They're controlling the voting to make sure they manipulate the voting at the convention. And it's actually starting to fall apart on them. It really is. So here's what we need. We're going to go right out with an action plan. We need the delegate list. Now, we need the Georgia GOP Inc. We need the Georgia GOP Inc. to step up and tell us who has the 2025 delegate list, who signed the NDA. Now, they put out this bogus NDA, 9 pages long, and Josh claims he had to put it out to protect the delegates. What he had to do, according to him, or according to me, is put it out to protect you, the candidates, from the delegates knowing who you are. That's the real truth. So he doesn't want, I was in a state committee member meeting, okay? And I see if I could get this correct, because you're when I say, but a year into our term, right? Almost a year. No one knows who the state committee members are, right? No one knows. And, okay. So they can't tell the truth about anything. Nothing at all. So no one knows who the state committee members are. I'm first vice chair. People are calling me, say, who are the state committee members? I don't know. Why? No one has a list. You know what I would hear? Well, Brant Frost has the list. Why would Brant has it? He knows. Okay. So we don't know who the state committee members are across, no one has a list. So we go to a meeting. We're down there at St. Simon's Island. And James Cooper, 10th district chair, stands up in the back of the room. If memory serves me right, he is the one that made a motion that we all receive the state committee membership list. And if memory serves me right, he said, we don't even know who the state, who everyone, we don't know everyone. And Josh started then, well, we can't put out the list because it'll get misused and people get attacked, and we need to protect that information. Well, the truth is they needed to protect the information. So when needed, and they need to whip a vote count, that'd be Travis Bowden, his friend, executive director of the Georgia GOP, past and soon to be present, or future Georgia GOP executive director. That's so they could manipulate when they need to. Oh yeah, it's all set up. Everything's set up. All right. And we have the Macoon of the dead, and we have Betsy Kramer and Sally Grubbs, and we have Travis Bowden, and we've got Marcy McCarthy, and we've added our Katie Frost, and we've got Macoon of the dead there. They're all zombies. They follow him. Ask no questions. You're not allowed to ask questions. And if you blink, what happens, Diane? If you blink, what happens, Diane? If you blink, the attack dog shows up, right? So now what we need is the delegate list. Now, so Josh put out a 9-page, I want to clear this up because he can't tell the truth. Josh put out a 9-page NDA. So give me the video 6. I'm going to call it the first video from David Cross from Saturday, because we're going to get into the GRA convention. But give me video 6, what I call the first video, and let's see if I have that correct.
Do you believe that a non-disclosure agreement should include a non-disparagement clause to get access to the delegate list for the party? If so, or if not, why or why not? Go ahead.
No, I do not think there should be a non-disparagement clause on there because it stops free speech. And number 2, it's $25,000 per infraction, and I don't know who determines what the infraction is. And then whoever wrote this document had the idiocy to put down that we're going to solve our grievances in Fulton County Court, where we know that that Republicans are not treated fairly. So it's an idiotic document.
Thank you, Josh.
So my opponent signed that 9-page NDA, but he amended it in several different ways. Did not bring attention to the fact that it had been amended.
Tell them how.
I believe it's my time. Right now.
Please, one at a
So,
full truth.
He amended it in several material ways. As a lawyer, if I did that, I would receive a bar complaint. But let me say this: the NDA it's unfortunate that an NDA is necessary. You ought to just be able to have a handshake and say, you can trust me with this confidential data. I won't abuse it. I won't use it except for the purpose of reaching out to delegates during the campaign. And, you know, I'm trying to finish my answer, please. And instead of doing that, we have...
All right, so that is a blatant lie. That's just flat a blatant lie. As an attorney, he would not receive a bar complaint. He would not, okay? And he says, well, he altered it in material ways. If I did that as an attorney. Now, Josh is trying to steal an election, and so are the zombies. They're trying to steal an election. Now, we're going to get into much more, but give me the second part of that. Listen to what David Cross, how he changed it, which is perfectly legal. Listen to this. Give me the second one of video 6.
And he told you that I modified the document. I changed 5 years to 0.5 years. I changed 3 years to 0.3 years. I changed Fulton County to Banks County because that's a Republican stronghold. And I changed $25,000 to $25. Okay. That's called offer and compromise. That is trying to make a deal. All right. There was a precedent set with a man many years ago that signed, modified a document, his credit card, and it stood up in court.
All right. Thank you.
So I wanted to be clear on certain lies, and we'll go through them today, that the Georgia GOP Inc. chairman and the coward that he is put out a 9-page to defend himself, and then he actually has other people defending him for doing it, all right? NDA. Now, the venue is very important in a lawsuit. And David changed the venue to Banks County. So if there was ever a dispute, it had to be heard in Banks County. They want it in Fulton County. So there's nothing wrong with that. You can make a document, legal document. I could say I disagree with these points, mark through it, initial it, and sign it and send it back. There's no such thing as a bar complaint for that. He cannot continue. Now, we have to have the delegate list. So the pressure has to be put on. I mean, we have to. We need to get the delegate list for 2025. They're trying to hide it, and you cannot make these people. Well, other people signed it. Okay, you can't make these people sign that delegate list. You really can't. You got to get them the delegate list or accept. Second, and we're going to move from this. Second, we have to have paper ballots. Now, the GRA had paper ballots Saturday. It went very, very well. It can be done. We need to ask for paper ballots from the chairman. Now, Chairman Josh McCoon continues to stand up and lie and say he's for paper ballots and he's not for the machines, but he wants a standing vote. And the reason he wants a standing vote is they're all working now to intimidate all the delegates. Yes, there's several in his zombie bunch that are working the phones now to intimidate delegates. And what they do, here's what they do. They try to intimidate county chairs. All right. And they Josh always has plausible deniability. And what they do is they nicely have certain people, some of the zombie team, call the county chairs and let them know that they should vote in a block. I know a county chair right now that's very angry with the delegates in their county because one particular delegate is campaigning for David Cross, and the county chair is determined that they're going to be unified as a county and vote in a block. Know it for a fact as I'm looking you in the eye. It's happening all over because these county chairs are receiving calls saying, you want to be on the right side of the chairman going down the road. You may need something in the future, and these might not be the quotes, but this is how it's put. Same thing with district. Same thing. You can't get on a committee. They have a nominating committee with 2 Frost on a nominating committee. 2, right? There should be no such thing as nominating committee. So they're trying to do a standing vote so they can intimidate. So a chairman of a county can look back like this and see who in the county does not participate or votes for Cross. Then the enemies list starts to get compiled. That's a fact. That's what they're doing. So you don't want clickers. I don't want to stand. We need paper ballots. So there's 2 fights that we have to take on right now, daily, nonstop. Nonstop. It has to happen. The other thing is, give me number 17. I want to give you places you can go to get information. All right. This is the Georgia Patriot Insider. This is a Substack. The Georgia Patriot Insider Substack. Okay. And this explains the GOP swamp. The consultant, the speaker, and the grassroots revolution, how constituent connect become a fault line in Georgia's Republican Civil War. McCoon's wife's consultancy. Is that what it says? This is a good source of the swamp in Georgia. Like, I don't have time in 1 hour to break everything down, and I will give you good sources. This is one right here. It is a Substack called Georgia Patriot Insider. So just when you get a minute, you can read the Substack. Now, there was something about, and we're going to talk about the credit card. All right. Now, I want to give you one more cowardly act, and then in the last half hour, I want to talk about the assistant secretary's position, believe it or not, in the Georgia GOP. Give me this video here, and I'm going to explain this. Now, Jeff Duncan should not be considered a Republican. All right? Should not. And this is low-hanging fruit. This is easy. And Josh McCoon is an absolute coward. Now, this is going to anger some out there, some of the zombie crew. It's going to go back to the zombie crew, okay? This is going to anger them because Josh McCoon is a coward. He cannot answer any question. He can't answer a question if the 2020 election was stolen. He cannot answer a question exactly why he misused the credit card. Personally, he can't truly answer questions on machines versus maybe wanting to be Secretary of State. This is one that he has no courage whatsoever, and I know it for a fact. Let's go with the John Burns, okay, video. There's a reason he brings up Jeff Duncan, and I'll show it to you. Video 11.
Very straightforward question. As chairman, would you support the expulsion of John Burns from the Georgia GOP?
So we, for the first time ever, during my first term as chairman, expelled Jeff Duncan from the Georgia Republican Party. And we did that because there was a clear, unimpeachable record with Jeff Duncan of campaigning against Republicans. He refused to vote for Herschel Walker in 2022 and went on international television to brag about it. He endorsed Joe Biden in 2024. Then he endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024. Then he went on a stage with Kamala Harris in 2024 to campaign for her in Atlanta, Georgia. So if he was to ever show up again, we would say, you're not a Republican. In fact, we've even got the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that kept referring to him as a Republican. We instructed them to stop calling him a Republican, and they've stopped doing it. When it comes to current office holders, including Speaker Burns, we will have a convention in about a month. There will be an opportunity for the convention to weigh in, whether it's John Burns, whether it's Brad Raffensperger. But I want to give a very specific answer to what I think maybe that question is referring to, because I don't want anybody leaving here saying, well, I didn't get a straight answer on this. If we're talking about somebody being able to get ballot access as a Republican and be on our primary ballot, let me be very clear about this. The statute on presidential qualifying gives full control to the state executive committee. We can decide who's going to be a candidate for president. For every other candidate, Georgia law says if they present their paperwork, they pay their qualifying fee, and they sign the loyalty oath, then you have to qualify them. Now, with Jeff Duncan, I'm pretty confident that we...
Now, where Josh McCoon's concerned, there's never a question, he's never asked a single question that a yes or no, a decision needs to be made, and a stance. There's never a question where a stance needs to be taken. Now, whether you disagree with the stance, whether you agree with the stance, no matter where you're at on the stance, it won't be taken when it comes to Josh McCoon. He is a coward, okay? Yes, he's a coward. Now, let me explain what he just did, all right? He brags about Jeff Duncan. Now, I agree with removing Jeff Duncan, all right, when he says Jeff Duncan was expelled and because he refused, you know, he stood on the stage with Kamala Harris. He did this, he did this, he did this. We've expelled him, all right? 2020 in Georgia was stolen from the American people, was stolen from the good voters of the state of Georgia. 2020 election was stolen. Now, considering the 2020 election was stolen, we have a lot of Republicans that are very aware of that and did nothing about it. They refused to do anything about it. Refused, knowing that. But yet, our leadership stayed silent. But Jeff Duncan is an easy target. Now, give me number 15. Never forget this. All right. I don't like Jeff Duncan. I never did like Jeff Duncan. I never supported Jeff Duncan. But the reason that Josh McCoon moved on Jeff Duncan is for David Schaefer. Yes, that's the reason. Jeff Duncan beat David Schaefer, his friend, in the primary for lieutenant governor. Jeff Duncan's always been a slime ball. David Schaefer, on the other hand, he probably has a can of slime somewhere at the house. But Jeff Duncan beat David Schaefer, and the reason that they stepped up and expelled Jeff Duncan is to play politics and to revenge from David Schaefer, period. Now, I'm glad Jeff Duncan's out. I am. And I'm glad that he cannot run as a Republican any longer. I support that. But that took no courage. It took no guts whatsoever to do it. That's why Josh McCoon did it. Now, anytime guts, courage is necessary and a decision should be made and someone take a stance, Josh McCoon doesn't do it. Now, the base in this state were very upset over what John Burns did concerning Colton Moore. And the base understands we cannot remove him as a state representative. We cannot remove him as a state representative. That's up to the voters in his district, John Burns' district, Speaker of the House. But what we could do is we can make a statement that we feel he should no longer be the leader or have a leadership position in our Republican caucus as Speaker of the House. We could make that statement. Josh McCoon doesn't have the courage to do that. He doesn't stand up, right? Doesn't do it, will not take a stance. Now, here's what he will do, is he will tell you that you're going to have a convention. He's going to give you the system. And this is what these people that just can't make a decision, here's what they do. Now, what he just said is, you can weigh in. You'll hear Josh McCoon anytime you bring up, take that down and put the zombies up. Anytime anything comes up, you'll hear Chairman Josh McCoon say, we can have that conversation. Now, he knows that something needs to change or that he's done something wrong when he looks at you and says, well, we can have that conversation during the state committee. Then his finances, right? We don't know if he's commingling. Let me get to this because we got to get to the assistant secretary today. We're going to get to that one today. So give me number 52. I have asked this question, right? You have Josh in 2020. We've gone from, 70,000 where he got the job. He just got the job at that time. And now we go all the way to, and I just want to show you something in 2024. The 2024, you got 52. I'm sorry, Diane, I know. Now, as you can see in 2024, this guy's up to a state salary of $228,000. What you should do is you should look at how many state employees, even in the leadership roles, make over $200,000. Seriously, you should say, well, he is an attorney and blah, 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 blah. You should look and see how many in leadership in the state of Georgia make $228,000 plus. Oh, it's a very, very, very small number. Then he has an expense account of $17,837. Now, the reason we bring this up, I want to show you something. And there is a reason for the difference. I just want to show you quickly here. Give me number 38. That's not the one I'm looking for. Hold on there. Let's see. I don't think that's it. Give me. Maybe I have the wrong one here, Diane. No, let's see. Yeah, I didn't bring it over. I don't think I brought it over and cropped it out. If I don't have it, I won't waste time on it. Yeah, go ahead. Give me number 50. Now, look, he makes $228,000. Now, number 50, the election director, okay? There are 3 finalists are running to become the next executive director of the State Board of Elections. Now, I understand it's not exactly the same, but look at number 51. The salary to be state board, the state election board director is $120,000 a year. That's the salary. So when we look at Josh's expenses and we look at his expenses and the fact that he misuses the company card, go ahead and give me 19. So when we look at the fact that he misuses this card and he's got $17,000 in expenses in the state, I wonder if they commingled. Now, back to the John Burns. Now, we have a convention that we could weigh in, is what he said. Now, he wants a rule change. Anytime Josh McCoon, it's code, we could have that conversation as I got caught. We could have that conversation. We can weigh in. You can weigh in at the convention. Josh is going to put a rule change into place or ask for a rule change on finances. I just wonder if he discussed the rule change with the treasurer of the Georgia GOP, Inc. before he wrote it to put it in. I mean, I would just think, what do you think about it? Now, when Josh McCoon says you can weigh in on John Burns at the convention, what they do is you could censure John Burns, you can condemn him on a resolution, a useless resolution, right? You can do that. If you have 2/3 of the quorum and they like to push the resolutions to the very end of the convention, lose quorum, and you can't pass these resolutions. So Josh McCoon, instead of having the courage to ever take a stance on anything, well, you get a chance to weigh in. This guy is a total coward of anything. Now, let me just say this. I wouldn't be opposed after Saturday and what I saw Saturday. I wouldn't be opposed to Alex Johnson chairing the Georgia GOP Inc. convention in June. After what I saw Saturday, I'm going to break that down. I would not be opposed to that. Alex Johnson did a good job. Now, so let's move on to number 26. As soon as the GRA convention ended, Debbie Dooley went into, along with some of her at the crying table, Sally Grubbs was at the crying table. Josh was like this half the day. Betsy Kramer got upset. And Jeff DiGiamoro, or whatever his name is, running for treasurer, he got upset. And, by the way, here's 56. Running for second vice chair of the Georgia Republican Party is Betsy Kramer with Josh McCoon. Number 55, thank you, Bill Quinn from the Georgia Record in the research that he does. Number 55, Steve M. and Betsy S. Kramer Family Foundation. Travis Bowden, we know who that is. And number 57, he happens to be on the board of their foundation. Same guy, Josh McCoon, his close friend, gave a $7,500. This would be him, number 53, got a $7,500 Christmas bonus. Now, that being said, but the GRA convention. Now, I told you this not to go too long. All right. I applied for GRA membership at one time. A lot of my friends, GRA members, great people across the state. Great people. All right. So I applied for membership. I talked to a lot of my friends. I had Richard Jordan ask me. I had David Oles ask me. I had, is it Bill Richardson? I had so many across the state say, how come you're not a member? And I said, okay. So I filled out the application. God knows it has to go through the Frost fingers, okay? Because they have their fingers in controlling the GRA. And they sent me back a rejection to the GRA membership and my $35. Okay. Now, the convention Saturday, all right, give me number 33. The convention Saturday was really great. I got to brag about it from start to finish. And the GRA rules are not the same as the Georgia GOP rules on conventions and how they're run. All right? Not the same. And it is an endorsement convention, and I'm going to tell you their rules in a minute. Now, last time they had an endorsement convention for state officers of the Georgia GOP, Inc., the Frost family was on the front row intimidating. The Frost family was in the room, and the Frost family made that convention just unbearable, totally unbearable, okay? There was something so freeing and loose about the delegates in the room Saturday, and it was just that. There was no frost to be found. And it was a good convention. Alex did a great job. The question and answer really showed the candidates, okay? Now, the rules are, and we'll go through it, the crying table, the McCoon zombies were 0 for 6. 0 for 6. Now, you have to have 2/3. Give me number 34. So they lost it. Debbie Dooley lost it over the weekend because for assistant secretary, all right, Kylie Kramer received the endorsement of the GRA for assistant secretary. Now, the assistant secretary really does not have any duties whatsoever unless the secretary cannot perform them. But they do have a vote on the executive committee, right? So the vote is big. But their duties, not a lot of things they have to do. So she won the endorsement. Now, here is number 35. This is a nice young man. And I won't change the fact that he's a nice young man today. But I have offered Jaquan Stembridge help. When I say that, I had a long conversation with him well before he came on this show. And I'm right up there probably with the first person that became aware of what Josh McCoon did to try to get this young man out of the race for Caroline Jeffords. All right. And then they tried for 2 weeks to keep Kylie Kramer off the ballot. Everything is convoluted with corruption, and it all leads back to the head, Josh McCoon. So I talked to this young man. I said, no, you're going to come on my show. And when you come on my show, I don't want anything. Your skin color, Josh McCoon, Caroline. I want people to meet you. And we did a really amazing interview. During the interview, I was aware of what happened, but that's not how I wanted you to meet the young man. After that, I told him. I said, Jaquan, be careful. You're 18 years old, politics, a lot of bad people out there. Be careful. Don't hesitate to call me, all right? Now, you can take that wrong if you want, but I don't want the evil ones. Well, in fact, just go ahead and play this and we'll jump back. Go ahead and play video 4, and we'll jump back, okay?
These people are evil people.
So I told him that. These people are evil people. So we go to the 9th District Convention, all right? So it comes out at the MAGA, candidate forum in Gainesville. Jaquan, the story comes out, and immediately Josh McCoon and his team went into, let's cut some sort of deal. Now, I don't know what has happened, but we got to get Jaquan with us. So we go to the 9th District Convention, all right? We get back, and this is number 3, and we go to the banquet, And here is Sally Grubbs, Josh, and Debbie Dooley, right? And we don't know exactly what they're discussing, but looks like a plan. And the next thing I know, go back to 35, I'm at a table and I look over, and the next thing I know, Debbie Dooley has been, quote, what I call assigned to Jaquan. Like, oh, crap. I look over, I'm like, oh. So she goes over and sits next to him, right? Then it's like 15 minutes later, she takes a picture with him, tweets it out. Oh, it was great to meet this young man. Now, Debbie Dooley is endorsing Jaquan, pushing Jaquan. Everything is Jaquan is amazing. Now, Debbie Dooley is on the John Fredericks piece of crap Godzilla bullshit show on Thursdays or Wednesdays or Tuesdays, whenever they do it, which involves Caroline Jeffords. So Debbie Dooley's not turned against Caroline Jeffords. Don't forget that in this story. So why is she supporting this guy? So they are so upset, number 34, that Kylie got the endorsement. Okay? Kylie got the endorsement. And here's how their rules work. Their body, their quorum can change. It can. It can change throughout the day. So if 150 voting member strength is there at 11 o'clock, every time people leave, the voting strength changes. They don't lose quorum. And that's their rules. Agree, disagree, whatever. That is their rules. The quorum changes. Then, when they vote on endorsements, they take, as you can see, all right, they could take round one. Kylie got 49, Jaquan got 30, Caroline got 14, no endorsement got 3. Now, in the Georgia GRA, they have on their ballot no endorsement. I don't think, as a member, I want this person endorsed. You can vote that way. Second round, right? Now, what happens is after you vote, because I'm going to explain this because it's full. Debbie Dooley is going crazy because they're 0 for 6. They're so upset about what happened Saturday. She's written all these attacks. She's attacked me. She's attacked David. She's attacked Lisa Pierce. She's attacked Noreen Cantor. And she's attacking Kylie. Let's just put it like this. Kylie Kramer and Debbie Dooley. Well, let's just put it like this, right? So that being said, the way it works is you have a first round. Then one of their members makes a motion to go round 2. That's how it works. Simple. You have to be a member. And they made a motion. It passed. So they go to round 2. What they do is they drop the bottom candidate off the list. So Caroline Jeffords got dropped off. These are their rules. Just the way it's always worked this way. So Kramer got 53, Stembridge 28, no endorsement 5. Okay? Now, I want to show you something for those out there that are losing their SHI asterisk. Now, people are going around and say, well, she didn't run against anybody. These are the GRA rules. So you can make a motion to drop that candidate, which is Jaquan Stembridge, the rules. You can make a motion to drop that candidate. And now Kylie has to be endorsed by the remaining members, and they could vote no endorsement. It's Kylie Kramer, and a member could sit there and say, no endorsement. That's their rules, like it or not. So Kylie got 53, and 24 members in the room said no. And 52 were required, and she got 54, and she got the endorsement. Every single thing you see on that screen is accurate to the GRA rules. Bottom line. So according to their rules, she got endorsed. And there was no rigging, no cheating, nothing. There was no frost. How could there be any rigging or cheating, right? Or manipulating? So there you go. Now, we know that Debbie Dooley has lost her SHI asterisk, right? And she has attacked the GRA. And you can go to, this is number 54. The GRA has written there you go, a response. Defamation. Debbie Dunn dug herself in too deep. Her deception about the 2025 GRA endorsement convention. So they've responded to Debbie Dooley. So here's where it comes around. So pay attention. Ready? So in the beginning, you have the young black man that I warned. I warned this man over and over and over. Don't get used. They're evil. They will spin. They will use you. Whatever. So here's where we're going to bring it all together. You ready? So you have the evil bad people over here. All right. And you have Princess. That's Caroline Jeffords. You got Princess. And Josh McCoon and Princess try to stop Kylie Kramer from being on the ballot. One. Second, they try to talk the young black man. Ready? They try to talk the young black man into getting off the ballot so the wealthy, attractive princess white woman can get on the ballot by herself and get it, right? So what happens? It looks like out there a white woman knocked, let's go for it, knocked the young black man off the ballot for a white woman. So you got to flip the script. Is that what the kids say? So you still have a white woman, right? You still have a white woman. Give me number 34. So you want to make a complete turn. You need to turn, now that she's on the ballot, you want to turn the message around, and you got to have this white woman that is now the bad white woman against the young black man. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. These are evil ass people. So let's see. Princess used to be the bad white woman with the young black man. Now Kylie Kramer is the bad white woman that rigged an election against the young black man. You can't make this up. So what do? They send him over to none other than number 42. How can we make this complete? Well, we can't do it. We're white. We can't go here. We can't go there. How will you do? Well, what we need is call Rent-A-Brother. Yes, call rent, R-E-N-T. Call rent. When all else fails, call Rent-A-Brother. That's right. Shelley Winters. Why, he could step in. Shelley could step in. Yes. Well, Shelley could reach out to Jaquan, the young, black, impressionable young man, the nice young man that the white woman rigged an election. And Shelley could say, come on my show. We could flip the script on them. These people are sick sons of bitches, man. They just are. I didn't mean to say that, but damn it, they're just sick sons of bitches. I said it twice. Diane erased that. Now, give me number 43. I should have never said that. I apologize to God and country and all. Shelley Winters, Rent-A-Brother, right? Number 44, Jaquan. I will indulge you. Somebody said to me, he's 18 years old. You kid, he's 18. Now take it easy. Look, this cat had 9 lives. He's used all 9. I don't dislike the young man, but I told him over and over and over, do not do these things to increase your political clout with all people. But yet, so he knows what he's doing. Don't think he's naive. Don't think he walked into something and he's naive. He's a bright young man. So here we go. Here's Rent-A-Brother. Video, I don't know how much I will play it, but listen to this. Video 14, how he lays it out. Video 14.
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. Whew, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend, I want to read to you what I was sent by a good friend of mine. So apparently, I told you on Friday that there was a meeting for the what's called the GRA. GRA is the Georgia Republican Assembly, and they are excuse me, hold on one second. Where is this here? I just had it up here. Okay, they are the Georgia GRA. They're the Georgia Republican Assembly, okay? And they are a offshoot group of the GOP, okay? They're an offshoot group of the GOP. And they're trying, I talk about them all the time on the show, they're trying to destroy the GOP from within. There's no question about it. Now, full disclosure, I have a lot of dear friends who are in the GRA, who are members of the Georgia Republican Assembly. They are stepping away. They're spending less time with them. But there's the Nathaniel Darnell, Alex Johnson. There's some real destructive people to the Georgia GOP in this organization. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're doing it. But let me tell you what they did this weekend. So an email was sent out by Debbie Dooley. I'm explaining all of this to you because the same people who scream and yell about election integrity, these are people that will force elected officials to do everything they can to make elections safe. They pass a big election integrity bill, but that's still not enough. We need more. We need purity tests. All of this stuff. So they had an election. So the election was for who this organization should endorse. So they went through the election. So you're there. It's about 134, 135 people. And they say, Magic Mike for chair. Well, Josh McCoon for chair. David Cross for chair. You're supposed to get 2/3 of the vote in order to get the endorsement. So no one got the endorsement. So there's no endorsement because neither candidate got the 2/3. First vice chair. No one got the endorsement. Nobody gets the no one got to 2/3. No one gets the endorsement. Second vice chair, someone got 2/3. Noreen Cantor or something like that. I don't know this woman. I'm sure she's a very nice lady, but she got the endorsement. Second vice chair, treasurer Lori McLean. She met the 2/3 endorsement. She was endorsed. Secretary, no endorsement. No one got 2/3. But then there was a race for assistant secretary. Assistant secretary. Kylie Kramer, Carolyn Jeffords, and a young man who's coming up on the show next at 8:06, Jaquan Sternberg. No one got 2/3. Instead of saying, well, no endorsement, no one got 2/3, guess what they did? Guess what the people who want safe and secure elections, guess what they did? Seriously, guess what these communists did? Because this only happens in communist nations. This only happens in this only happens in dictatorships. The very thing they call everybody, guess what they did? They changed the rules. for this one race, for assistant secretary, my friends. And now I'm not sure. Jaquan is coming up next. He's going to explain to me what assistant secretary does. But I've got to understand, why would you change the rules for assistant secretary and not for chairman or first vice chair or treasurer? Seems like an important position, treasurer. But you change the rules for assistant secretary? You can't make this up, my friends. And what's fascinating to me is that the people that were in that room went for this. That's really what's fascinating. You talk about cheap. But so what they did was, for assistant secretary, they changed the rules, and then they said Kylie Kramer, she's been, I'm not going to say anything. Kylie Kramer against no endorsement. Now, there are two other people in the race, Jaquan, who's coming on the show next, and Carolyn Jeffords, who wasn't there. They said, nope, Jaquan, you're out. So it's going to be Kylie. So everybody in the building, you vote for Kylie or no endorsements. And these people in the room, I'm not mad at Kylie. She's doing what she's got to do. She's cheating. I'm not mad at Alex Johnson or Nathaniel Darnell. They're cheating. The same people that scream election integrity, safe and secure elections, cheated. What I'm baffled by.
All right. Cheating. Yes. So no rules were changed. Let me clear this up. He invokes Debbie Dooley's name, right? They have lost their SHIT. Well, that spells shit. They've lost their shit over this endorsement convention because they know what it means. 0 for 6. And they know they're corrupt, right? He calls the GRA, this is what happens, communist, so forth. All right. Now, this guy is set up. This is Renner Brother. Yes, I don't care. Shelley Winters. I'll tell you why I call him that in a minute. You can see this guy does a radio show. The last thing he needs to do, the very last thing he needs to do, he could be talking about Trump. He could be talking about tariffs. He could be talking about John King running for Senate, anything. What he's got to do is he's got to participate when his white friends, white friends, called Renner Brother and said, we need you to help flip the script and change the white woman in the story. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, they're going to come after me. But the damn truth is the damn truth. All right. So now this young man after listening to that opening should have got up and left. It said, I'm not about to be used. Maybe I'm not happy, Jaquan, I'm not speaking for him, but maybe I'm not happy with Kylie Kramer. Maybe I'm not happy with Caroline Jeffords. But what I will not do is sit here knowingly being used by a bunch of elitist white people that are trying to retain their power and use me as a pawn. I'm not playing that game. You're in it, not me. But Jaquan stays. Now, he couldn't get the name correct, so let's be clear on this, okay? There was no rule change, none. I've explained that to you. Now, I can, but in the interest of time, we're not going to do it today, but I'll be glad to explain the rule on first vice chair and chairman, because a motion has to be made and then the body has to vote on it. And if they turn the motion down, they don't have the next vote. But you can run against no endorsement. I showed you that. That's according to the rules. Now, Jaquan doesn't know the rules, so he probably shouldn't speak to it. And this guy here is carrying the water for his white friends. Yes, I keep saying white friends, damn it. That's who it is. Damn corrupt-ass people. Simmer down. Okay, so let's go with the interview because we're almost done for the day. Let's go with video 13. Here's the interview. He can't even get the young man's name. It's Jaquan Stembridge, sir. Give me video. Now watch this. I'm going to stop it in a minute. I'm going to stop it, and then we're going to come back, Diane, so hold it. But start with video 13.
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. In the studio with me is a young man. He's an up-and-comer in the GOP, Jaquan Stembridge.
Yes, sir, Jaquan
Stembridge. My brother, I was mispronouncing your name throughout the whole time. I apologize, my brother.
Get that a lot.
All right, so first of all,
we can't gloss over my brother. Jaquan, my brother. Sorry about that, my brother. Bringing him in, my brother. Hooray, my brother. Let's, my brother. My brother. I'm sorry, I can't. What the hell? I mean, come on, racist. You damn people are unreal. You're so damn phony. You're so damn bad. You're so damn evil. You're so damn corrupt. He brings this young man in. And look, Shelley Winters is a manipulator. And this young man's 18 years old. He's a black young man. He's a nice young man. Shelley Winters immediately going to engage with my brother. Glad to have you here, my brother. All right, power to the people. Start all over. Let me get out of the way.
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. In the studio with me is a young man. He's an up-and-comer in the GOP, Jaquan Stembridge.
Yes, sir, Jaquan
Stembridge. My brother, I was mispronouncing your name throughout the whole time. I apologize, my brother.
Get that a lot.
All right, so first of all, why you for the Georgia GOP? First of all, look, what were you doing before all of this?
Yep. Yes, sir. So I've been involved in politics since 2020. I tell everyone my story. I got involved during COVID. I grew up an only child in a single parent household, in a Democrat household. So I was always taught that this party was the party of rich white men that cared nothing about people that looked like us. So ever since then, in 2020, I didn't knock on doors in 2020. I was so young. I made phone calls to President Trump. 2022, I became a field organizer for the Georgia Victory Team, where we knocked on doors, made phone calls, wrote postcards. 2023, I started the Georgia's 10th Congressional District Teen Republicans chapter to empower other young people like myself to get involved and have a seat at the table. I've been the chairman of the state chapter for a few months now. And so, yeah, I've just been going all across the state speaking about the importance of this party engaging with the next generation of voters.
And you worked for Trump Force 47 as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, at this last cycle in 2024, I only was a volunteer this time around. I was a freshman in college. So with that being said, due to me being in college, I only volunteered, but I did do some work with Trump 47 this time around. And also, like I said, I was doing the chairman of the Georgia Teen Republicans. So that was my main focus, was the Teen Republicans and getting young people involved.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
What is the job of assistant secretary? It doesn't sound like, I mean, I'm sure it's an important job. I'm not taking away from it, but it's chairman, first vice chair, second vice chair, treasurer, secretary, assistant secretary. What's that job?
Yes, sir. Well, assistant secretary is literally just to assist the secretary. But I want to add more to that role. I want the assistant secretary to be someone who is actually bringing our message to more diverse communities, bringing our message to my generation, meeting my generation right where they are, and doing just like Ronald Reagan did, showing this generation that conservatism still works.
And so basically what you're saying is elect you as assistant secretary, and you're kind of you're kind of wearing a bunch of different hats that you don't have to add other people to do.
Yep. If you put me as your next assistant secretary, we will no longer have to just keep talking about, oh, we want young people. You will have a young person on your executive board, which will inspire other young people to want to be involved with the party. And I will get to work on day one.
And so the cheating that went on Saturday, you were there, right? Did I describe anything that did not happen?
You described what happened very well. That is what happened. I don't want to use the word cheating because I don't want to get into that habit. But yes, so on Saturday, I was honored to go to the GRA convention because I want to work with every different group here. And so I went there, and spoke with some of my friends who was at the GRA convention. And it was just great to be able to speak about my positive message about bringing young people in. And so, yeah, we did a vote. We did a first round vote. I didn't make it for 2/3 for that one. So then we did a second round of voting. And I still didn't get the 2/3. Kylie Kramer didn't get the 2/3, but a young man named Charlie Stoker went up and made a motion to, I think, take me off the ballot. And so they took me off the ballot. They did a vote with Kylie Kramer versus no endorsement.
So she was up against nobody. Essentially, it was Kylie Kramer against nobody.
Basically, yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. All right. So we'll move off from there. Okay. I just want to make sure that I said everything correct. You are going to be in Dalton on June.
Yep, I will be in Dalton from June 5th through the 7th because I'll be there for the state committee meeting on the 5th, and then I'll be there for the 6th and 7th, campaigning my butt off to earn every vote from the delegates.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me right now, and you are voting at the Georgia GOP convention coming up in early June, look at the
So wait a minute. This young man started out, let's go with 42. This young man started out with a young black man being taken off the ballot by a white woman. Right? Right? And then the Shelley Winters, my brother Shelley Winters, they tried to take my brother off the ballot for a white woman. They cheated my brother. So the first white woman tried to get the young black man off the ballot with the help of Josh McCoon. Now they rewrite the story that 94 Debbie Dooley. Now I don't know who called Shelley Winters Debbie Dooley because he references he got the email from Debbie Dooley. He references that. Wouldn't be shocked Sally Grubbs is involved. She knows Shelley Winters very well. Wouldn't be shocked that Josh McCoon's involved. I think the whole group is involved. So give me 94. Okay. Debbie Dooley sends the email out. He does the interview. Now they change the script around. They change the script whenever you can get to 94. There you go. Thank you, Diane. Debbie Dooley, Jaquan Stembridge knocked it out of the park on Shelley Winters' show last night. Jaquan is running for first. So Debbie is highlighting that. And they're helping Shelley Winters, Renner Brothers, helping turn the script around. And now they have a new white woman, number 34. Hey, I'm not the one racial here. I'm not the one racial. I'm just the one picking up the evil racial Georgia Republican. No, I'm just the one picking up the evil racist Georgia Republican Party. It's the GOP Inc. If you're white, you're all right. Yes, they're bad people. Very, very bad people. Now, I hate to call this guy a kid. He's 18 years old. All right. I have children twice his age. I think he's a fine young man. I love the young man. I care for the young man. What Debbie Dooley, Josh McCoon, Caroline Jeffords, these evil Shelley Winters, Rent a Brother, My Brother, what they have done where this kid is concerned, it is flat out evil as shit. Just most evil shit I've ever heard of in a long time. These people are that bad. Yeah, I'm not stupid here, Shelley. Oh, Shelley Winters. Why do I call him Rent a Brother? Hey, Shelley, need you to help with Jaquan. Flip the script on Kylie Kramer, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my brother. Oh, Shelley Winters, we have a party in Brookhaven this weekend. We need to add some color to it. Oh, I'm on my way. Oh, they hate me, don't they? Because they're racist. Oh, Debbie, you remember the racist tweet you put out that you deleted? You remember that one? Yeah, go ahead. Call me racist, girl. Go ahead. Evil to the 10th power these people are. Evil. I mean, give me number 21. I'm not afraid of them. What the hell? The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but rather by those who watch them without doing anything to stop them. And I don't care what they call me, and I don't care what they say about me, and I don't care. Debbie, send another damn 10 emails out about me and make all the shit up you want about me and get angry about me. But it's you, the racist, evil people. Oh, by the way, number 31, Josh, you could have gotten the workout for just $1. You could have got it for $1. Let's see what else I have here. No rules were broken Saturday. And I tell you what, I find myself in an interesting position supporting the GRA. I really do. But the day was just so uneventful. And why they, the sickening. It's just, I don't even have words to describe the sickness and the illness and what they will do to fight. What are they hiding? What are they hiding? What are they afraid of? Let's say David Cross gets elected, Lisa Pierce, Noreen Cantor, and let's say, what's her name? Lori McLean. Let's say Nixon is secretary. Let's say they go in, Kylie Kramer's assistant. Let's say they go into the office, start opening the file cabinet, start going through all the data, the backups on the computer. What are they in such fear that they think they're protecting that they don't want you to see? Because I'll tell you what, it's something. I'll be damned, it's something. I got a feeling this show is going to get me in big-ass trouble. Well, I better get off the air, get a cheap cigar, and wait for the hits. I'll see you tomorrow.